Ryan Papenhuyzen has been hailed after his 4-try performance down Trent Barrett's Bulldogs, with Craig Bellamy sounding a huge warning to the rest of the competition. Anthony Griffin has a dilemma on his hands after leaving young guns Tyrell, Sloan and Junior Amon out of his starting side. Nathan Cleary and a surprise young gun have delivered for the high-flying Panthers. Meanwhile, the Sea Eagles will be feeling a sense of deja vu after their dominant win in Mudgee. Here are the big talking points from Round 4 of the NRL. Stream every game of every round of the 2022 NRL Telstra Premiership season live and ad break free during play on Kayo. New to Kayo? Try 14 days free now. Para Dragons in second half surge 252. Dragons experiment fails to fire. Coming into the Dragons against the Eels coach, Anthony Griffin made the decision to axe young gun Tyrell Sloan and drop teenage playmaker Junior Amon to the bench. Sloan in pre-season was hyped as one of the competition's best young talents, with the incredible try-scoring record of 7 tries in 8 games from fullback. Many were left dumbfounded by Griffin's Sloan decision, while the call to move Amon to the bench could be attributed to giving the youngster some time to develop. Former NRL playmaker Madge was left confused by Sloan's axing. Insanity, could not believe it. I think he's going to be a superstar, Johns said. I could not believe it. I thought he must have had an injury. To me it makes no sense. It makes no sense. They needed to win today. I could not work that out. Anthony Griffin was asked about his decision in the post-match press conference and was complimentary of his replacements' performances. I thought Mudgee and Bird was a little bit scrappy here and there, but I thought they have us something, Griffin said. Our attack, we were too impatient, but we were a lot more dangerous despite the scoreline. We'd struggled the last couple of games, Penrith and Cronulla, and they both. With young guys sometimes you just need to get them out of there. Their development is not a long-term thing. But we have some good depth in the squad, we just need to get a little bit of stability there. But those young guys are a big part of our club. But sometimes it is just if they are a little low on confidence, which they were after that Cronulla game, you have got to help them rather than leave them there. Griffin now has a big decision on his hands, with Sloan especially, who is considered the long-term fullback of the Dragons. Moses Mudgee, despite delivering no major blemishes against the Eels, isn't a long-term fullback for Griffin's men, so the club will be hoping their young star can find the confidence needed to perform at his best this season. In pre-season, Cody Ramsey was touted as a fullback option, sharing the number 1 duties with Sloan in trial matches. Ramsey could also be an option moving forward for Griffin, should he want to hold Sloan's return off. Griffin has another position he needs to fill after Jack Bird's shaky showing. Mudgee is the likely solution if Hook can find a fullback he deems ready to play in the NRL, with Bird best utilised on the edge. But Amon could come back into the role after playing as a utility in Round 4. Pap scores 4 as Storm thrash Dogs 2-10. Phenomenal. Papenhuyzen is the definition of tough. It was the Ryan Papenhuyzen show at AAMI Park on Sunday. The Storm thrashed the Bulldogs 44-0, and Papenhuyzen scored 24 of those points on his own with 4 tries and 6 goals. But it was his effort without the ball that really caught the eye of Michael Ennis, who called the star number 1's defense phenomenal. We all know what he's capable of in his attacking game, but boy, defensively hasn't he been impressive. Ennis said during commentary. Benji Marshall was also just as impressed. His efforts today, he was in everything, he said. You just can't beat speed, but off the back of speed, you just can't beat ball playing. He's so good at picking the right option. He hit a hole off Harry Grant through the teeth of the Bulldogs forward pack. He's a fullback lucky to be 90 kilograms, if that, running a brave line and giving everything to his side. He was the difference today. Queensland legend Corey Parker noticed how far Papenhuyzen was willing to go for his team, even if that meant putting his body on the line. We spoke about the self-preservation he's got for his body, he said. We're talking about he's not a big outside back by any stretch, but what he does and what he puts his body through, the commitment and the way he does it, just asks so many questions so often in the set of 6. And at the end of it he comes up with a performance like that with 4 tries. He was all over the place. Marshall agreed that Papenhuyzen's fearless style of play was admirable and believes it's especially impressive given the 23-year-old's battle with concussion last season. To come back from a brain injury, he had a few highs last year. And to throw yourself into the line like he was tonight, it was phenomenal, Marshall said. To me that's the definition of tough, to wave those fears off and come back into the side to do that. Coach Craig Bellamy also made a huge claim in the post-match press conference when asked if it was good to see him finding his early 2021 form. I don't know if he has even gone a bit past last year in his last couple of games, to be quite honest, Bellamy said. He didn't have a great preseason either. He rolled his ankle there and probably didn't run for 8 weeks. But I think he spent a bit of time in the gym there, and he has probably put a bit of weight on, and it doesn't look like it has affected his pace. More NRL news. Goes the other way, Immortal slams Wayne over secret Ponga meeting. Spoke too much, Panthers young guns admission after fiery post-game exchange. Not proven, the big Ponga risk after secret Dolphins meeting revealed. Be very careful, Payton makes stunning accusation as NRL under fire again. Titans rob Tigers at the 0:49. Tigers major flaw exposed in heartbreaking loss. Matty Johns believes the Tigers are playing it too safe and prioritizing defense over their attack won't win them many games this season. The Tigers could only manage 3 penalty goals in their heartbreaking 8-6 loss to the Titans, and while their defense is much improved, it is hard to see where their next win is coming from given their spluttering attack so far this season. It is a good question where the Tigers are going to go, because tonight they were going to get the result, Johns said on The Late Show with Matty Johns. It is just about in the bag. A few things happen, and suddenly they jag it on almost the last play of the game. What does that do to morale? When your confidence is down, you can still defend well, and your yardage is still pretty good. But the problem is when you get down in the opposition 20, and you have got to find a way to score. People say defense wins games, and I get that, but what gives you confidence is a great attack. That gives you that swagger, and that healthy attacking arrogance. And at the moment they are scrapping away. They are trying their asses off. But they don't have a knockout blow, and their confidence is down. Gordon Tallis commended the Tigers on their improved defense, but he believes they are still letting themselves down in the same areas. The Tigers have put in this effort defensively for the whole season, Tallis said. I think they have only conceded 30 or so points, so they would be in the top 4 for letting in points, and their effort was absolutely fantastic. But their clunky attack, a lot of drop ball, penalties, discipline and all those things add up. But that is heartbreaking. They probably deserve to win. They beat the Titans to the punch all night. They have got to convince themselves that if they keep putting in that effort they will eventually get a win, but if they drop down on that effort, they won't win a game. It is a difficult one, because I feel like they are trying to defend and they are having a go, but it just doesn't seem to be working in terms of winning games. Brian Fletcher believes it is clear both teams prioritized their defense to the detriment of their attack. That is just devastating, Fletcher said. It looked like both teams, all they did was defense. They thought if we defend well we will win, and unfortunately the Tigers just didn't take their chances. I feel for the Tigers because all the pressure is on them. KFC Supercoach is back. You could win the holy grail of fantasy footy plus $50,000 cash. Play now. Dom's dangerous tackle cops sin bin. 0:40. Knights missing mongrel. Knights coach Adam O'Brien isn't driving off a cliff after his side's 18-0 loss to the Sharks, but he did concede they desperately missed star prop David Klemmer. Klemmer suffered a knee injury in round 1 and isn't expected back until round 9. O'Brien of all people will be counting down the sleeps until the former New South Wales Origin star is back